Hey guys, Ominous here, and wow, do I have a fun and aggressive deck for you today. This deck revolves around Staraptor, Skarmory, and Berry. Just an aerial dominance that'll have your opponents in awe. So without further ado, here's some gameplay so you can see how great this deck really is. Good first hand here. I have Skarmory that I put in the active spot, and I got a Starly that I can put on the bench. I draw a Staraptor, which is great. So now I decide to use the Pokeball. I ended up getting another Skarmory. I'm going to place that on the bench. I'm then going to use Giant Cape on the active Skarmory, attach a Metal Energy, and attack on Celebi to deal 50 damage. Alright, I draw a Staravia, so now I can evolve Starly into Staravia. Next turn, I can evolve it into Staraptor, and I'll have Berry with an energy on it. I'll be able to destroy that Celebi next turn. Alright, now it's my turn. Evolve that Staravia into Staraptor, retreat the Skarmory for Staraptor, use the Berry, and now I get to take out that Celebi with no issue. Honestly, there's no need to use any of these tools, but I just wanted to use all the cards in my hand, and then I will attack with Staraptor and win this game. Another game where I luckily start with a Skarmory, put that in the active spot, and a Starly, which I can put on the bench. I go first, draw Professor's Research. Now I got two of them. I'm going to obviously at least use one this turn, see what I get. I end up pulling a Cyrus and a Giant Cape. For some reason, I decide to play some mind games and not attach a tool, just in case, if I do, they retreat the Manaphy. But I'm unlucky, and he attaches a giant cape anyways, so it's going to take 2 turns for my Skarmory to get rid of that Manaphy, and he's going to rack up on these energies. Alright, so I draw another Skarmory, so I'll decide to put that on the bench. I then evolve Starly into Staravia, use my other professor's research, get a Starly and a Berry, which is great. So I decide to put an energy on my Skarmory, put a giant cape on him, and now he is going to deal the 50 damage. That Palkia keeps getting a little scary. He attached another water energy on it, is going to use Manaphy again to attach a third, and that Palkia is going to be able to destroy my Skarmory the turn after. I draw a Pokeball. I don't have any other Pokemon, but I like to use the Pokeball sometimes just to shuffle my deck, see if I can get some odds. It's more of a mental thing, but I like to do it anyways. I decide to start bringing up that Staravia, so I put a Metal Energy on him. Then I decide to attack with Skarmory to deal the 50 damage on Manaphy and get rid of him and get the point. And just like we predicted, puts the extra water energy on Palkia, does Dimensional Storm, gets rid of my Skarmory, deals 20 damage to both my bench Pokemon. And looky here, I get lucky enough to pull a Staraptor. So I'm going to put a giant cape on my Skarmory, attach Metal Energy to it, have Staraptor evolve into Staravia. Now Skarmory will deal the 50 damage onto Palkia, putting it down to 100, and then Staraptor can attack next turn to get rid of that Palkia and win the game. Evolving that Eevee into Vaporeon could have been real bad for me if he had a Cyrus in his hand. I don't know if he has one in the deck or not, but could have used Vaporeon's ability to give all water energies to Palkia and then move my Staraptor into the active spot and get rid of it, and then I would have been in real trouble. But luckily he didn't, and just used the regular slash to deal 30 damage on Skarmory. So now time to do some big moves. Retreat Skarmory to put Staraptor in the active spot. Use Berry. Now I'll be able to attack. Bye-bye Palkia. Another win from your boy, Ominous. Alright, I'm up first. I draw Berry. Decide to use one of my professor's research. I end up getting a Staraptor and a Leaf. Not the greatest, but at least I have Staraptor. Decide to use Rocky Helmet on Starly, so that way if he attacks next turn, I'll deal some damage. Alright, so this time I decide to use my other Professor's Research to draw 2 cards. I end up getting a Giant Cape and a Pokeball. Decide to use the Pokeball, and I end up pulling a Skarmory, which is great. So I end up putting the Skarmory on the bench, attaching a Rocky Helmet onto it, and now I'm going to use an energy on Starly and have Starly retreat, so that way if he does attack next turn, I do have the Rocky Helmet on Skarmory, so it'll still deal some damage. I'm up and I draw a Starly, I put it on the bench, I attach the energy to Skarmory, and then I decide to just attack that, execute, and get rid of him for a point. He ends up using a Cyrus to bring in my Starly that is hurt and is going to attack it, which is pretty smart, so that way he can get rid of it. Luckily, goes to flip the 2 coins and neither is head, so I get dealt 0 damage and survive. Draw a Pokeball, decide to use it to pull up my last Skarmory. Gonna put that on the bench. So decide here to do the same play as last time. Attach the energy to Starly, have him retreat, put Skarmory in the active spot, and let's deal some 50 damage. Opponent gets 2 heads, is able to get rid of my Skarmory. Now, I decide to put my other Skarmory into the active spot. I'll attach the Giant Cape and be able to deal another 50 damage, and hopefully I can draw a Staravia to evolve one of these Starlies. And sure enough, that's exactly what happens. Draw a Staravia, decide to evolve one of the Starlies, attach the energy to Skarmory, attach the Giant Cape. Now let's attack and deal 50 damage. No matter what they do, I'm going to be able to evolve Staravia into Staraptor next turn, attach energy, use Berry, and get rid of that Celebi with 130 damage. I draw the Giant Cape. Let's evolve Staravia into Staraptor, attach that energy, use Berry, and now I'll be able to use its Brave Bird and get rid of that Celebi to get the 2 points and win the game. I actually have the choice between both of my Starlies, no Skarmory. I decided to choose this Starly because of its move Pluck, which will be able to get rid of a tool if it's on the active Pokemon when it attacks. My turn, and I draw another Staraptor, so now I have 2. I'm going to go ahead and use both Pokeballs to get my 2 Skarmories, and I'm going to put them on the bench. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach that energy to Starly, use Pluck, gets rid of the Giant Cape, HP goes back down to 60, attack, deals 20 damage, and now it's at 40. My turn, and I draw a Giant Cape, which is clutch, so I'm going to attach that to one of my Skarmories. And then I'm going to attach an energy to that Skarmory, retreat my Starly into the Skarmory, and Skarmory will be able to get rid of Cubone in one attack. I decide to put my other Skarmory in the active spot, hoping I can get another tool. I don't draw a tool, but a Berry is really good. Put that energy on Skarmory, I'll just deal with 20 damage. I'll still be able to survive next turn if they attack. Luck of the draw, I pull a Staravia. Let's go ahead and evolve one of these Starlies. I'm going to attach a Metal Energy to it. Next turn, I will evolve into Staraptor, use Berry, and get rid of his Pokemon. And I will let Skarmory be sacrificed in its place. turn, I draw Professor's Research, but we do not want to use that because we're going to use Berry. So Evolve Star Radius to Staraptor, attach that energy, use Berry so I'll be able to attack this turn. Then next turn I can attach the third energy and still attack without a Berry. Alright, honestly, I thought my opponent was going to go for a tie here. He attached the energy on Marshadow, which would do 120 damage to me. And if I attack with Staraptor next turn, I will destroy him, but I will also cause damage on myself, and that would have both of us lose. So it would end up being a tie. Alright, my turn. I decided to use Professor's Research. I ended up pulling a Rocky Helmet and a Cyrus, which will be helpful. I decided to put Rocky Helmet onto Staraptor, attach that third energy, attack to deal the 130 damage. Now, if he attacks me next turn, that Rocky Helmet will take him out. Honestly, my opponent made a great play here, and this could have been a clutch play. Using that Giovanni with the Lucario's extra damage, that's 30. If he gets at least one coin, he gets rid of my Staraptor, and we end up getting a tie. Fortunately for me, none of these are heads, and they deals no damage. So next turn, I'll be able to get rid of this Marowak. And knowing this, my opponent concedes.